What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Sunday. I know they are having a practice today, but I did want to get out my 53-man roster projection after week 2. So I wanted to get that out to you guys after the preseason game. Each week I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that after the Bengals game, and then after the Ravens game, I'll be doing it with the guys of Commanders Kings in person. So I'll be doing that. There we go. I had to get that little gnat. But I'll be doing that in person for Commanders Kings. Make sure you guys get your tickets. I'll put the link down below in the description. August 24th, Sunday, so it should be a great time, great event. Can't wait to meet you guys in person, see you guys in person. I have seen a good amount of people in person, but it would be great to see the subscribers that I have not been able to meet in person. It will be great energy, good time, great vibes. That's the flyer right there, so make sure you guys check that out, man. It's going to be a blast at Crystal City Sports Pub. Make sure you guys come in, get some food, some drinks, and we're going to be talking about the 53-man roster and schedule prediction as well. Any questions you guys got, or we should be live streaming it as well, so any donations or any questions you guys have in the chat, we'll definitely answer those questions as well. So, all right, but let's talk about the 53-man roster here. So nothing much has changed from my last one. I may put the last one that I had in there too. The last time I forgot to put Nick Allegretti in there, so I'm not going to make that mistake. But I think the last one that I had was 2 quarterbacks. So we'll start off with the quarterbacks. And I think you guys may agree with me now, because there was a lot of people who disagreed with me at first when I only had Jaden Daniels and I only had Marcus Mariota. I did not have either Sam Hartman or Josh Johnson. Once again, I just don't think it's really necessary to have 3 quarterbacks, because the previous regimes, of course, we needed to keep, 3 quarterbacks. We just had to. When you had injury-prone Taylor Heineke, injury-prone Carson Wentz, who was injury-prone with the Eagles, Ryan Fitzpatrick getting hurt in the first half of the season. He was done for the whole season in a quarter, which is just insane. And for that to happen, but I'm trying to find the comments for my 53-man roster. Where is it at, man? Oh, here you go, right here. But yeah, a lot of people disagree with me. Not a lot, but a couple people disagreed and said we should keep 3 quarterbacks. But I especially after the performance that we saw, I actually think Sam Hartman did a decent job. Chris Moore dropped 2 passes, and then Gallup, Osborne dropped a touchdown. So I think Sam Hartman was better than what people are critiquing him to be, or critiqued his game. So, but that's what I would do. I would only keep 2 quarterbacks. I just think Mariota is the perfect backup for Jaden Daniels. The way that he plays, the similar play style is perfect, and the way he played last year is perfect as a backup. Hopefully, we don't have to see him, but maybe in that last game where, like last year, we clinched a playoff spot and we clinch our seeding or potentially clinch home field advantage, you put Mariota in there to start, or come in after Jaden to rest or whatever. Like, that would be a great scenario for the season. But Mariota is perfect. He's the perfect backup. So Sam Hartman or Josh Johnson, maybe practice squad, but I just don't think it's necessary to keep 3 like back in the day when we had Heineke and Wentz and just a bunch of guys getting hurt, and Sam Howell, Jacoby Brissett, and the quarter. We don't have a quarterback carousel anymore. We have a franchise guy. So I think when you have a franchise guy, you don't really need 3 quarterbacks. That's my opinion. I spoke too long on the quarterback situation, but let's go to running back. So I had 3 before, but I'm gonna pick 4 because McNichols, he didn't play much, but he did play well. For the time that he was in the preseason game, he played well. He's a legitimate professional. What he's gonna do. The coaching staff likes him, and he ran for the touchdown. So they like him, man. And I know Bill is a darn good running back. He looked good too. I'd rather keep 3, but I just know that they're gonna keep McNichols. They like him a lot, and he was with the Niners with Adam Peters, so they're gonna keep McNichols. So it's gonna be B-Rob, Eckler, Billy, and Jeremy McNichols, and then at the tight end position here. So I have 2, 4. Let's see, 3. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 10 is 19. Plus 6 is 25. I have 3 tight ends. So I don't have Colson Yankoff making it this year. I have Zach Ertz, John Bates, Ben Sinnott. Nothing against Colson Yankoff. I think they can stash him on the practice squad because he didn't show anything in real games. Still hasn't really shown flashes in the preseason either. So I think he's a guy that you can release and then pick him back up for the practice squad and then put him on the 53-man roster a couple games or days for him to be a special teams ace. So I think that will happen with Colson Yankoff. He did get held on that play against the Patriots. Not holding that against him, and he didn't make any catches. Like Lawrence Cager looked like the better tight end out of everybody who played last night or 2 nights ago, whatever it was. He had 2 nights ago on Friday. But I have 3 tight ends. I mean, that's really all you need. Once again, with the quarterback situation, we don't really need 4 tight ends. It's not really necessary, in my opinion. Zach Ertz is our number 1 guy. John Bates is our legitimate blocker. And then Ben Sinnott is a question mark. We just don't know what we have yet in him. We don't. And then 10, offensive line, Laramie Tunzel, Brandon Coleman, Tyler Biadasz, Sam Cosmi. We'll probably put him on PUP, and he'll probably miss the first 4 games of the season. Andrew Wiley, Josh Conerly, who played really well on Friday. Foster Sorrell, Michael Dieter, Trent Scott, Nick Allegretti, and Sam Cosmi. The other offensive linemen who potentially could make it, maybe Bobby Hart. Maybe Bobby Hart is one of those guys. But other than that, let me see here on the offensive line. Bobby Hart, maybe Julian Good-Jones, Chris Paul, somebody who I can see making it. Tyree Phillips, Lucas Niang, we just picked him up, but I think Chris Paul is probably the guy that may be called up when we put Sam Cosmi on PUP, where he won't count against the roster. He won't be able to practice or play in the games of course, while he's on PUP. He'll miss the first 4 games of the season. And then you activate Chris Paul. You put Chris Paul on the practice squad, and then you activate him for game day for the 53-man roster against the Giants and the Packers. So that's my thoughts about Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is going to be the guy that they end up keeping because he can play guard. I think he plays guard and tackle. He plays guard and tackle. So those will be the 10 offensive linemen. And then let's transition to wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, Debo, Noah Brown, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, and the last guy is Ja'Cory Brooks. So I believe on the last one, I think I had Chris Moore. On there. And I'm going to go with Ja'Cory Brooks because he led the team in receiving. He didn't have any drops. Chris Moore had 2 drops. Osborne had a drop. Michael Gallup didn't separate himself. Jacoby Jones had a touchdown catch, but still not enough. He's still going to be on the practice squad. Big Play Tay made a couple nice catches. Big Play Tate Martin. Tate Martin. His name's Big Play Tate Martin. He had 2 catches. Braylon Sanders, I don't even think he got a target. So he just didn't do enough. And Brandon Sanders is an XFL guy, so we're not expecting him to come and make the roster anyway. So those are my 6. Ja'Cory Brooks right now, I thought he separated himself. And he still has some work to do. But honestly, looking at the other guys, they can't catch. They have hands like a snake. They can't catch a cold. And yeah, they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. All right, defense, pretty simple, straightforward here. Cornerbacks, Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos, Mikey Samerstill, John Jones, Noah I. Carlin Vidgers was not good enough. He got ran over a couple times. He was scared to tackle, so he's not making a roster. And that's really it with the cornerback spot. Bobby Price has a concussion now, so he's in concussion protocol. He's not making the roster. Kayvon Seymour is on the practice squad. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be on the practice squad. Safety's cut and dry. Will Harris, Quan Martin, Tyler Owens, Jeremy Reeves, Percy Butler, Robert McDaniel on the practice squad. He'll be on the practice squad. Let me see the other safeties that are even on the roster. That's really it. Ben Nickel will be on the practice squad, and that is really it for me for the safety. Linebacker's pretty cut and dry too. Dominic Hampton's not making the roster, guys. I don't care if he's a draft pick or not. He's just not making it. He got washed. He got washed by blockers. He just got lost in the sauce. He got lost in traffic out there. Got pushed around in the run game. So he's not going to make it. And he got beat on a couple plays too. Bobby Wagner's going to make it. Frankie Louvu, Jordan McGee, Nick Ballore, and Kane Madrano will be your 5 linebackers. Will be the Commanders' 5 linebackers. And then defensive line, Von Miller, Dorrance, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Dietrich Wise, Johnny Newton, who showed up yet on Friday night. I love to see that. I'm very happy about that. Very encouraged about that as well. Cleveland Farrell, Jacob Martin, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Eddie Goldman, Dietrich Wise. So those are the 10 guys that I have on the defensive line. Of course, you have your special teamers with Gateway Long. Gateway long snapper. So the long snapper's name is Tyler Ott. So Gateway Ott or Ott Gateway will be making the roster in special teams. Matt Gay needs to pick it up, though. He's got to pick it up. You saw somebody make a 70-yard field goal yesterday. We saw somebody make a 57-yard field goal in the game that we played. The Patriots kicker made a 57-yard field goal. And both those guys are getting paid less than Matt Gay. So Matt Gay, he's got to look himself in the mirror. Larry Izzo has to look himself in the mirror. The whole team, excluding the 30 guys who played on Friday, everybody who played in that game needs to look themselves in the mirror, except for a few guys. But that special teams effort out there was one of the worst special teams efforts I've seen probably ever. And yes, you can say Colson Yankiv was held, but still Travion Henderson, like, even without the hold, honestly, he probably would have ran for a touchdown. Like when Eckler ran for a touchdown against the Giants, they were like, oh, it was a block in the back by Nick Bellore. Even without the block in the back, like, I feel like Austin Eckler probably would have ran for a touchdown. That's just how quick Austin Eckler is. And that's just how darn fast Travion Henderson, because we should have drafted him. But I love Josh Conerly. I really do. I like Josh Conerly a lot. But I would have drafted Travion Henderson. I really would have. I would have drafted him at pick 29. I don't care if it was a running back. I don't give a crap. Talent is talent. It is. Talent is talent. So I don't give a crap about positional value sometimes. When the talent is talent, go ahead and get that talent. All right, so Josh Conerly, his PFF grade was really good. 14 pass block snaps, 1 pressure allowed, and a 77.7 run block grade. So he looked pretty darn good, man. I'm really happy with what Josh Conerly did out there. It looks like possibly another steal for the Commanders. Some people are talking about Josh Simmons. They should have drafted him. I'm talking about Travion Henderson as well. But Josh Conerly, man, if he can step in as the legitimate right tackle in the league, and we have 2 big bookend tackles protecting Jaden Daniels, and then you have Tyler Biadasz at center, Brandon Coleman at left guard, Sam Cosmi at right guard, that is a top 5, potentially a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. It's a top 10 offensive line in the NFL right now with Sam Cosmi healthy, especially with Tunsil and Biadasz in there and Cosmi healthy. But if you can get the 2 young guys, the 2 young guns, develop them quickly and get ready like that, and you have Andrew Wiley as a backup, Foster Sorrell as a backup. It's a darn good offensive line, man. It really is. It's the best offensive line that we've had in a couple years, for sure. Since probably the Trent Williams offensive line with Sheriff and those guys. So it's good to hear about Josh. He did really good in the running game. The second level, second effort, blocking for Jeremy. For Bill, I'll just call him. And he earned a 77.7 run block grade and only 1 pressure allowed. So he did a good job protecting Sam Hartman out there. So, all right, guys, I'll wrap it up here because there's about to be the practice, and we'll recap the practice if they do have any updates or play-by-play stuff. They probably won't have much because it's just so late in the preseason or training camp. I think fans are allowed there today. I think this is the last one that fans can go to. So, all right, you guys, let me know what you guys think. As always, Hail the Commanders. Peace.